Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
Bills. First reading. Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright.
Honorable Minister of Justice. Second reading when?
First, Deputy Speaker. Second reading today and now. I beg to move. Thank you.
Honourable members, there's a motion that Bill number 2 of 2005, copyright, be read a second time. Those of the people say aye. Aye. And those of the government say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honourable Minister.
First, Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Copyright Amendment Bill be read for the second time. First, Deputy Speaker, the bill before the House aims to transfer the function of copyright administration from Copyright Society of Malawi, COSOMA, to the Companies Registrations and Intellectual Property Center. If this bill is passed, COSOMA will focus on its core mandate of collective management of rights for its members, while the Companies Registrations and Intellectual Property Center will be responsible for copyright administration. Madam Speaker, the bill replaces...
Minister, there's a man here.
I'm sorry. There's a man who I have no doubt. There's undoubtedly a man that is, you cannot doubt him. First, Deputy Speaker, this amendment bill will facilitate the development of the copyright sector in Malawi, as well as bring the copyright legal framework in line with international practice by separating copyright administration from the collective management of holders of those rights. As a consequence, COSOMA will dedicate its efforts towards advancing the interests of its members. First, Deputy Speaker, this amendment bill is limited to the consequential amendments as a result of passing of the Companies, Registrations, and Intellectual Property Center bill. However, honourable members may wish to know that the Copyright Act will itself be undergoing comprehensive standalone review in order to address certain gaps that are perceived to hamper the full enjoyment of copyright by artists and creatives. So if there are any artists here or listening to this, they should know that this amendment bill is not the one that they may have been expecting. It is not a bill amending the Act comprehensively. It is just to amend the Act to be in line with the just passed Companies, Registrations and Intellectual Property Center bill. So this amendment bill is limited to consequential amendments after passing of the Companies, Registrations and Intellectual Property Center bill. the current amendments being proposed are very minor because, as I've said, they're just consequential amendments. First, Mr. Speaker, I call upon all honourable members to support the Copyright Amendment Bill. First, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Justice. We now to recognize spokespersons from the main opposition parties, beginning with the DPP. DPP spokesperson. I see Councillor Ntenda from Mulanje West. Councillor, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Mulanje West to respond to the bill that has just been presented by the Minister responsible for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Bill number 3 of 2025, and that is the Copyright Amendment Bill. First Deputy Speaker, this bill seeks to amend the Copyright Act, Chapter 4903 of the laws of Malawi, to effect changes consequent upon the enactment of the Companies, Registrations and Intellectual Property Center Bill number 1 of 2025. First Deputy Speaker, the bill recognizes the Office of the Registrar General established under the Companies and Intellectual Property Center Bill as the Office of the Copyright. With the proposed amendment, the Registrar of Copyright will be responsible for the copyright administration, while Copyright Society of Malawi will be responsible for collective management of rights of copyright owners. First Deputy Speaker, it should be remembered that Malawi has the National Intellectual Property Policy that outlines the strategy for managing and leveraging intellectual property rights to stimulate innovation, economic growth, and social development. First Deputy Speaker, the National Intellectual Property Policy serves as a framework for intellectual property generation, protection, exploitation, and utilization, influencing various sectors. First Deputy Speaker, this policy that was launched in May 2019 acknowledges the challenges and gaps with intellectual property in the country and provides a framework to foster the generation, protection, and exploitation of intellectual property in Malawi. This proposed law, therefore, First Deputy Speaker, brings the administration of copyright as a field of intellectual property under one office, with the administration of patents, trademarks, and industrial designs as intellectual property office, in line with the said policy. First Deputy Speaker, this is a good law, and the Democratic Progressive Party, the party whose members will sit on the opposite aisle come September 2025, support this bill. I thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, the people of Mulanje West. Speaking on behalf of DPP, we now go to UDF, the people of Zomba Ntonya. Zomba Ntonya, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for recognizing UDF to comment on the Copyright Amendment Bill, Bill number 2 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, it is very important to amend this because it is in line with the bill that we passed Bill number 1 of 2025. And the sole reason of passing this bill is to synchronize or to align with the previous bill.
Leader of UDF, please concentrate.
I know, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, please allow the leader of UDF be heard in silence, please.
Mr. Speaker, it is abnormal and normal in this time around where people are waiting for primaries. Most people, their heads are not ticking because they are always thinking about what is happening back home. The shadows are going around, so their heads are not normal this time around. Madam Speaker, Mr.
Member Zomba Antonia,
Mr. Speaker,
the way the shadow doesn't appear in outstanding orders. What does shadow mean? Remember, there's no shadow in our standing orders. What does shadow mean? Please proceed, Honourable Member.
Members of Parliament in waiting, Mr. Speaker, sir. Delegates are not good people, Mr. Speaker. They eat, and they have eaten. Just, Mr. Speaker, just to borrow some words from the former Secretary General of MCP, the word kwezeka.
I see the people of Lilongwe smiling.
Madam Speaker,
Deputy Leader UDF, please continue.
On a serious note, Mr. Speaker, that was on a lighter moment. I pray that everybody in here should see the 17th of September to be positive, everybody to come back in this house. That's my prayer. More especially, honorable member from Lilongwe Mpenu. And in Chisi South. Mr. Speaker, and the other positive part about this bill is the sharing of the responsibilities, which will help to support the spirit of specialization. We know Kosoma will be dealing with, will be responsible for collective management of the rights of the copyright owners, while the center that we have, the center created by the Bill number 1 of 2025 will be looking at the other side. With these few remarks, Mr. Speaker, UDF, we are supporting this bill fully. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Zomba Mtonya, speaking on behalf of UDF. Honourable members, the bill is now up for general debate. We go to Mwanza, Kunene Kude, over there in Mwanza Central. And then we come down to Toro Central. Time permitting, we may turn this side if members wish to speak. But otherwise, Mwanza Central, the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, for giving a chance to people of Mwanza Central, Inkosi Kanduku Masegu, kunene kude tulongondo ziyaya, nchotseni, ngadziwe tambala. First Deputy Speaker, only one important point that I first of all to say this bill is very important. It is extremely important insofar as protection and preservation of intellectual property is concerned. First Deputy Speaker, sir, as you may be aware, in 1788, Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin had created what is known called the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And in that discussion, in their papers, they encourage that when America is doing a lot of innovation, but there might be a way of protecting the intellectual property of that country for it to develop. And it is only right and proper that Malawi does likewise in this copyright bill number 2. The Honorable Minister of Justice, who is my friend, of course, I want to congratulate you, sir, for the amendment of this bill. And just to say that the Honorable Minister of Justice, whom I have known sometime since 19 but I want to congratulate you for coming with this important bill. It is a bill that will protect people's intellectual property after they have sweated, analyzed, developed, calculated, worked on their own intellectual prowess, and they have to be protected. With these few remarks, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sir, Mwanza Central, Inkosi Kandugu Maseko, wholeheartedly support the bill. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Mwanza Central. We go to Toro Central. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Deputy Speaker. And let me join my colleague from Mwanza Central in appreciating the Minister for this bill. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, this bill is important. The creative industry has suffered a lot. And my expectation, Honorable Minister, as we come to create now, to separate further the legal part to this new department and leaving the other bit to COSOMA, I wanted you to reflect on how, as a country, considering that the industry has got the ability to create jobs, and I believe that it is an industry that needs to be protected in a way, because we have seen our musicians, for example, our artists, for example, performing outside this country, and that brings forex in this country. We have not nurtured this particular area, and I wonder between the two, because now you are talking about copyright only collecting royalties and all sorts of things. But now, let me bring to your attention that Jetu, the lady called Jetu, her songs were part of an advert, for example, on DSTV. And it was brought to the attention of Jetu and other people. But upon saying, this is my song, DSTV started saying, no, give us the proof that this is your song. Because issues of patents and all sorts of things are not there. Meanwhile, companies like DSTV are enjoying somebody's labor. And I thought that you want to pronounce yourself between these two organizations, who will make sure that these people are protected. And I'll tell you why. We don't have proper strategies to take our laws back to our people. Our people do not even know about patents, to the extent that they just sit down and allow others abuse them. I am expecting that if it is copyright society, as you part ways between, as you do exit notes, that it will be put to them that this is their responsibility. And whether it is through NICE or indeed themselves, to sensitize their people that it is very, very important that they get protected under the newly established body. Otherwise, our artists take their time to create, to practice, and indeed to put, whether it's music, whether it is their poems or whatever, to come up with that. That's what they labor to do. But the income out there is something that we surely have got to help them to get protected. So I wanted to have you, Minister, reflect yourself on the issues that I've raised to make sure that the industry, for example, Zambian music and the Zambian creative arts, are really bringing them a lot of money. If you go to Nigeria, those movies there, because of the laws that they have in place, But here in Malawi, we seem to not to enforce as we are supposed to protect the industry from all these abusers. With these few remarks, I would like to thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the opportunity that Cholo Central do add its voice to the same. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. And before I recognize the government chief whip, I just want to make this announcement. The chair of the committee responsible, the committee was referred to, the report was referred to, the bill was referred to your committee. Do you have anything to say? Or that's okay? You vice chairperson, Nsheu Northeast, please.
First Deputy Speaker, as you may recall, the report was already presented to the House by the Honorable Chairperson. However, we've got something to present from the committee. Honorable Chairperson, I stand before you today to discuss Bill number 2 of 2025, the Copyright Amendment. This legislation is crucial for the protection of creative works and the promotion of our culture heritage. Observation from consultations. First Deputy Speaker, the committee's consultation with various stakeholders, including the Musician Union of Malawi, the Copyright Society of Malawi, and other creative entities, revealed several important observations. Need for stronger protections. First Deputy Speaker, many creators expressed concerns about the inadequacy of current copyright protections, particularly in the digital space. They emphasized the need for the robust measures to combat piracy and unauthorized use of their works. Support for traditional knowledge. First Deputy Speaker, stakeholders highlighted the importance of protecting traditional knowledge and culture expressions, urging that these be explicitly included in our copyright framework. Collaboration and support. First Deputy Speaker, there was a strong call for enhanced collaboration between government agencies and creative stakeholders to provide better support and resources for artists and creators. Implications of the bill. This bill carries significant legal, budgetary, and socio-economic implications. Legal implications. First Deputy Speaker, by updating our copyright laws, we align ourselves with international standards, making it easier for our creators to protect their works both locally and globally. This alignment is crucial for fostering a competitive creative industry. Budgetary implications. First Deputy Speaker, the establishment of a dedicated registrar of copyright is expected to generate revenue through registration fees, enforcement activities, which can be reinvested into supporting creative initiatives and protecting intellectual property. Socio-economic implications. First Deputy Speaker, this bill aims to empower our artists and creators. By providing them with stronger protections, we encourage innovation and creativity, which are vital for cultural and economic development. A thriving creative sector not only enriches our culture, but also creates jobs and stimulates economic growth. Suffice to say, First Deputy Speaker, although proposals have been made by the stakeholders, Bill number 2 of 2025 is a consequential amendment in respect to Bill number 1 of 2025. There are substantive amendments that will be made in the near future, and at an appropriate time, I'm sure that the Ministry will engage all relevant stakeholders, including your Committee on Industry, Trade and Tourism, to appreciate the progress made on the proposed piece of legislation that will be drafted. In conclusion, First Deputy Speaker, Bill number 2 of 2025 is a vital step in strengthening our copyright framework. It reflects our commitment to protecting the rights of creators and promoting our cultural heritage. I also urge all members of Parliament to support this bill, as it will empower our creative industry and contribute to the economic and cultural richness of our nation. First Deputy Speaker, with these remarks, I beg to move that the House consider adopting the report as presented by the Honorable Minister. I beg to move.
Honorable member, you should ask for noting because it's just a statement. I'm saying this because the report was already presented. If you recall, the previous bill with this one, the most the same. So it was already, the report was already adopted by the House. So this one is only for noting, honourable members. So you ask for noting.
First Deputy Speaker, I ask for noting by the House. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honourable member for Nchewu, Northwest. Honourable members, there's a motion that the report, as read by the Vice Chair of the committee, be noted by the entire August House. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Deputy Chief Whip. Sorry, sir, may you? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think it's apparent that most speakers are speaking in anticipation of the actual comprehensive review that the bill will actually, the act will actually see, as the minister had said. But the one that the minister tabled is basically a consequential tabling, considering the passing of the Companies and Registration Intellectual Property Center. Therefore, I beg to move that we curtail debate in order to allow the Honorable Minister to wind up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Honorable Chief Whip for Government. Honorable, there is a motion that the debate on the bill number 2, copyright, be curtailed in order to allow Honorable Minister of Justice to wind up. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable Minister of Justice, Chief Whip.
Speaker, I stand to request that we extend time in order to allow the processes of the bill to be completed. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable members, there's a motion that we extend sitting time in order that we allow all the processes regarding this bill to complete. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Minister of Justice.
First Deputy Speaker, let me just thank the spokespersons for DPP and UDF for supporting the bill wholeheartedly. And let me also just, since I've been asked to pronounce myself by Choro Central, the pronouncement from me is that the body that will be responsible for protecting the rights of creatives, such as artists, will be COSOMA. Yes. And for Deputy Chair of Trade, Industry and Tourism, I've noted what has been said, but as the Chief Whip said, it is not, now is not the time for those comments, maybe because this is not a comprehensive bill, a comprehensive amendment of the Copyright Act. The Act will be comprehensively amended, as I said during presentation. At that point, we'll take note of what has been said. And I therefore now beg to move that the bill be read for the second time. Now, I beg to move.
Honourable members, there's a motion that bill number 2 of 2025, copyright, be read the second time. Those that say aye, and those of the contrary say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. I now do invite the people of Blantyre City South, Chair of Government Assurances, to chair committee stage. Thank you.
Committee stage, Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright.
Honorable members, welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of proposed amendments on the bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put the question, and the question is that clause number 1 to 13 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable members, this marks the end of committee stage of the Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright. Thank you so much for your attention.
Report stage, Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright.
Minister of Justice, reporting.
First, Mr. Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright amendment bill, passed through the committee stage without amendment. And I beg to move that the bill be read for the third time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I now put the question of the third reading of Bill number 2, copyright, be taken today. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright.
Honourable Minister.
First, Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 2 of 2025, copyright amendment bill, be now read for the third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honourable members, I now put a question that Bill number 2 of 2025 copyright be read a third time and passed. Those of the will say aye, and those of the contrary will say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. The bill has passed. Congratulations, Honorable Minister. Before I recognize the leader of this announcement to be made, that in the gallery we have our bright students from the Ayrton of Africa, the Camus Academy. The students have come from Kasungu East constituency. May you stand, please, our bright students, the science students from Kamuzu Academy, the school that Bertos Kamus Banda. May I stand to salute them? Welcome, my sons. Work hard. Join this place. This is where you belong. Some of you will be engineers, doctors, what have you. After that, come here in Parliament. Welcome. Be seated, please. Thank you. Thank you. Niwana, order members, Niwana amenajoka bamtengo wakachere. I see one of the students is the son to Honorable Chimwemwe Chipungu. So the only difference, the son knows that in Kasungu we speak one language, not the other language. So continue speaking the Kasungu language of the Black Hawk. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Leader of the House, please.
Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, sitting next to Honorable Chipungu's son is the genius Nathan Chimwendo. Allow him to stand. Nathan, can you stand there, please? Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
My side. Kamachen's son is in lower six, so he's not part of the team. Otherwise, next year he'll be there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's a good scientist, together with his other son, Chisomo Kazombo. So that's the school. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, I wanted to thank you in the manner you chaired proceedings. But before that, tomorrow, according to our standing orders, we entirely supposed to do reports. But I'd like to beg the House and move that instead of reports, we start dealing with the bills, because you know our days are numbered in the House. I therefore beg to move, first of all, that we waive the standing orders that allow us to tackle reports on Wednesdays, and instead we tackle bills. I beg to move.
Honourable members, there's a motion that tomorrow being a day that we dedicated for reports, we value all level of standing orders, that we allow government to present bills. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. So tomorrow we begin with bills. So Secretary, take note, prepare the order paper in that regard, please. Thank you. Leader of the House.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. In that regard, I would like, first of all, to thank you in the manner you chaired proceedings today. I'd like to thank the Honorable Minister of Justice for the wonderful job, the party spokespersons from DPP and UDF, and honorable members of Parliament for the good job they have done in passing the two bills. And tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, will tackle, among others, the prisons bill, which was circulated on 7th of March. We'll tackle the financial crimes bill, but also, time permitting, with an appeal to honorable members to come in the large numbers, tackle the Supreme Court of Appeal amendment, which is a constitutional requirement, and for that reason, constitutional amendment, and for that reason, we need more numbers in the House. I beg to report, and I wish you a good evening. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Leader of the House, and indeed thank all members for the wonderful afternoon we had today, after a wonderful Ramadan yesterday. So we now take the adjournment. We meet tomorrow at exactly 2 p.m. House adjourned.
Osaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.